The movie begins in ancient Rome. An architect named Lucius is failing to provide you with new improvements, and is suffering with cash. Every concept he comes up together along with is rejected with the aid of using the customers who suppose his improvements are outdated. One afternoon, Lucius, his friend, brings him to a public bathhouse to unwind. Lucius thinks it's miles the worst vicinity to relax, on account that it's miles full of loud, naked humans beaten with the aid of using the environment. He is going underwater, and remains there for a whilst. Suddenly he notices a small whirlpool forming on the alternative aspect of the bathtub. He is going to test it out, however he is pulled with the aid of using a sturdy present day in just a few seconds. Lucius finally ends up in a tunnel-like vicinity, suffering to breathe. He attempts his first class to get to the surface, and is subsequently successful. However, to his wonder, he isn't in a Roman bathhouse anymore. In fact, he's in a contemporary day Japanese bathhouse full of antique guys who are in surprise to look him stand bare in the front of them. The architect has some way traveled through time to trendy day Japan. Lucius, who has by no means visible a person with Mongolian features, assumes that the guys are from a flat-faced tribe after getting better from the surprise. Lucius notices that the vicinity is greater superior than any bathhouse he has ever visible. The baskets, taps, and massaging tool all blow his thoughts as he regrets now no longer taking into consideration those improvements himself earlier. He additionally by accident enters the women changing room, and is knocked out with the aid of using a screaming antique lady. Then we're delivered to a suffering manga artist named Mami. His look offers her in concept for a brand new character, hence she begins off evolved drawing his portrait. But whilst later, Lucius wakes up, and is given a bottle of flavored milk. He is once more baffled with the aid of using the sweet and bloodless flavor of it. In fact, it's so suitable that it makes him fall subconscious for a 2D time. When he regains consciousness, he's returned in Rome, surrounded with the aid of using guys. They say that he drowned with inside the bathtub, and changed into discovered a couple of minutes ago. Initially, Lucius thinks his come across with the flat-faced tribe changed into handiest a dream, a racist dream, but then he notices the empty milk bottle at his aspect. The scene cuts to 2 months later. Lucius proposed his protection concept to the proprietor of the bathhouse, and made it greater superior. People reward his creativity, and he makes a number of cash off of it. They now use baskets, rub down cubicles, or even candy milk to beautify their bathhouse experience. While with inside the bathtub, an antique guy needs that he had a bathhouse at domestic, as scrumptious as taking into consideration a manner to make that feasible. He's once more pulled with the aid of using a present day, and taken to a tub with inside the 21st century. A person comes internal, and asks answers to assist him bathe. Lucius is confused, however he does as instructed, and unearths out approximately many greater beneficial tools, like the bathe head, and the bathe hat. Coincidentally, the residence belongs to Mami, who unearths Lucius at the floor. She runs to get her sketchbook, however whilst she returns, he has already disappeared returned in Rome. Lucius makes a residence tub for the antique guy, and earns a number of cash. He subsequently has sufficient to feed his spouse suitable meals. However, she isn't satisfied. She desperately desires to have an infant, and court cases that Lucius is usually busy operating. They get into an issue that ends whilst she curses him, and storms away some days later. Lucius is approached with the aid of using a messenger of the Emperor Hedionus. The guy is understood for being cruel, as rumors say that he killed the cupboard individuals who antagonistic him. Since the communicate approximately Lucius' inventions has been going round Metropolis, even the Emperor is taking hobby in him. Upon assembly Lucius, he exhibits that he's an admirer of artwork, and what Lucius has achieved with the general public bathhouse is sincerely a shape of it. Impressed with the aid of using his paintings, the Emperor desires him to make a private tub for himself. He needs that it should be out of the ordinary, innovative, and something that has by no means been achieved earlier than. Lucius accepts the venture, and makes it his assignment to electrify the Emperor the whole night time he is going across the metropolis searching out proposal for a grand bathhouse. However, unearths nothing. He is embarrassed that everyone his thoughts are a copy, that he should not get credit score for. Suddenly he falls right into a ditch, and disappears. A scene from present day instances indicates US Mami operating at a rest room deliver save her profession as a manga artist isn't going nicely, so she has taken an aspect job. However, even then she is suffering to live on sleeping at paintings. One afternoon she by accident leaves the water on, and fills the bathtub to its brim. Suddenly Lucius seems with inside the bathtub, and begins off evolved respiratory frantically. He stops whilst he realizes the bathtub is effervescent on its own. The supervisor of the store is going to bitch approximately the peculiar guy giving Mammy and Lucius time to socialize. Lucius asks her to present him an excursion of the vicinity and fingers her a coin. Although Mammy does not recognize his spoken language, she does recognize the language of bloodless tough cash, and she indicates him round. Lucius is mesmerized with the aid of using the urinals and thinks revealed bathroom paper carries the secrets and techniques of the flat confronted tribe's success. I failed to need to maintain narrating that term. However, the factor that fascinates him the maximum is an awful day whilst he's on it. He appears like he's in heaven, copying the concept from the entirety he saw. He returns to Rome and makes the Emperor the first-class bathhouse of all time. It has a bathroom with steady water go with the drift to easy the at the back of a bathtub with bubbles crafted from slaves blowing up a pipe, a sparkling aquarium, and scented candles. He exceeds the Emperor's expectancies and is provided a unique necklace that has a completely unique sculpture of dog legs and human genitals. Lucius runs domestic to expose the success to his spouse, however unearths her making like to his first-class friend. Damn, in the Destiny, Mammy returns to her small homeland after time, and again failing to generate thoughts for a very good manga, and being kicked out of her aspect jobs, she begins off evolved operating in a nearby bathhouse. In reading historic Roman history, the coin she acquired from Lucius and his disappearance has intrigued her, and she or he desires to recognize if he's truly someone from the past. Back in Rome, Lucius has misplaced the desire to stay after his spouse ran away together along with his first-class friend. One day he's approached with the aid of using a messenger who's involved approximately the Emperor. It seems that the Emperor misplaced his son recently and thinks that a crocodile is his reincarnation. He desires Lucius to lay out an area in which the crocodile may be saved, and all of his desires are met. Lucius must be more cautious with this one due to the fact if the animal dies, all blame will fall upon him, and he can be declared a countrywide criminal. Following that, Lucius is going return to the Emperor's bathhouse. Check the water go with the drift at his request. However, whilst he enters the bathtub, he's pulled into the Destiny for the third time. He comes out of doors and unearths himself in a cage caught with crocodiles. It seems he's in a crocodile sanctuary on the identical time. Mammy is likewise on the sanctuary with a date who she does not like. She attempts her first class to dispose of the man and is satisfied. Upon seeing Lucius with inside the cage, she brings him out and indicates him across the sanctuary, forgetting all approximately her date. Lucius learns the way to take right care of crocodiles and their favorite habitat. Mammy additionally takes him to study archery to look if he's surely a Roman guy. He hits all of the targets, confirming her suspicion. A while later, he finally ends up in a warm spring, which takes him return to his time some months later. The Emperor receives an ideal vicinity to reproduce his crocodile son. He has even commenced to deal with Lucius like family, inviting him to the palace frequently. Everything goes nicely with inside the metropolis till someday the Emperor is knowledgeable of the rebels making an assault on his troops. They aren't satisfied together along with his rule, and need to dethrone him at any cost. The Emperor's squad is, and the rebels combat a protracted and tough conflict that is going on for greater than a year. By now, the Emperor has grown antique and is prepared to retire. He plans to go away the throne to his nephew Sionius for Sionius' first mission because the Emperor. He goes to construct a brand new bathhouse to benefit the human support. Hence the Emperor need answers to assist his nephew with inside the mission. This is a hassle for Lucius due to the fact his ideas do now no longer align with Sionius. He changed into conceited and proud. Lucius is aware of that if he will become the Emperor, the autumn of the Roman Empire is inevitable. Hence, after giving it a great deal thought, he is going to Sionius and refuses to paintings for him. Sionius reminds him that going towards the Emperor is treason, punishable with the aid of using death. However, Lucius stays adamant he is going to a fellow architect and begs him to take the mission. However, the person is livid at Lucius for being the purpose he's broke. They get right into a combat, and Lucius is driven right into a wall. In the following scene, he's with the flat-faced tribe once more. He is hurt, however they're looking after him as their own. They deliver him to a warm spring in which he can relaxation and get better. It is stated that if he bathed with inside the water of a spring, someone can heal quickly. They additionally provide him fermented alcohol which burns his throat. Then Lucius meets Mammy, who has found out to talk fundamental Latin. She asks him his name, however Lucius is so drunk. City falls on pinnacle of her, and the two drown with inside the lake once they wake up. There in Rome, a great deal to Mammy's amazement, she unearths out that Lucius is set to be finished for refusing to oblige. The Emperor's order involved she attempts to persuade him to take the mission. However, it does not paintings. Lucius leaves domestic together along with his bags to shop his existence. Meanwhile, in Japan, the institution of antique guys are searching out Mami once they fall into the lake like Lucius. They additionally get caught in a whirlpool and are added to the past. Lucius is on his manner to an extraordinary metropolis whilst he comes throughout a herbal warmed spring on a hill. He recalls the manner he changed into dealt with the aid of using the tribe, and realizes that the spring may be beneficial to the emperor's wounded squattes. He rushes to Mami to inform her of his concept, which she is of the same opinion with. Following that, Lucius is going to the emperor and gives him with the vision. He additionally claims that he changed into informed with the aid of using Antonius to make the spring. Antonius is some other feasible inheritor to the throne, who's a great deal greater eligible than Cyanius. Hence Lucius desires to make him appearance higher with inside the emperor's eyes. After being accepted to make this spring, Lucius, Mami, and the tribe get to paintings with inside the following couple of hours. They make the primary hut gradually. Many homes are constructed across the spring, and that they develop into a resting factor for the squattes. The tribe looks after the wounded and enables them get better quickly. They additionally use their know-how of contemporary day remedy to do so. A few months later, the squattes win the conflict towards the rebels. They rejoice with the aid of using and jesting and dancing. Lucius and Mamas take a seat down in non-public and chat for a protracted time. They have advanced emotions for every different over the time they labored together. Lucius is the happiest he has ever been in existence. That is, till the tribe all of a sudden disappears. Mami additionally begins off-evolved vanishing in the front of his eyes. But earlier than she does, he tells her that there are numerous approaches main return to Rome with inside the following visible. The emperor makes Antonius his advisor. Lucius is likewise provided in the front of the civilians for the bravery he confirmed in conflict. People mentioned that without him they might have by no means won. Meanwhile, Mami has commenced a brand new existence with inside the Destiny someday. She is on foot through the metropolis whilst she sees Lucius pop out of a pond. The film ends as they meet every different once more. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.